What is your you also you prepare for one question.
Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Sadguru Sri Ramananda Parabrahmana Namaha. Om Sadguru Sri Shivananda Parabrahmana Namaha. Om Sadguru Sri Krishna Paramatma Namaha. Om Sadguru Sri Sankrabhat Padacharya Namaha. Om Sadguru Sri Nityananda Parabrahmana Namaha. Om Sadguru Sri Vyasa Bhattarkaya Namaha. Namaskars to one and all. You are all my Guru Swarupa. Today, on 10th December, Saturday, at the house of our beloved devotee K.S. Sharma in Frisco of Dallas, of Texas State. Yesterday, I talked in Telugu because most of the people are well versed with the Telugu only. So, Dharani, please come. Today, Keralites and Maharashtra, North Indian people from North India came. So, I am now talking in English. Before telling this, can you put forth any question? What is your actual doubt? Don't worry about questioning. Don't hesitate. Actually, what is within your mind? Please come forward.
Yeah, Guruji, so I have my breathing issue is there. So I just wanted to. I am trying my best to do all time.
So you are all the way doing some breathing exercise.
Some breathing exercise, but I have a lot of breathing that all those are like choke. Even I go for a nap for 5 minutes, it starts snoring like anything.
Okay.
It's like very complex. It's not at very deep level.
So you want to know the science of breathing?
Yeah.
Yes. What about you, Ma? What about you? Same question, because he is your husband.
Yeah.
Same question. What about the Carlite? What is your question? Please come forward. How to? Breathlessness. Or how to overcome breathlessness? Restlessness. Oh, okay.
Anger.
Anger also. How to overcome? Same question. You also want to say, put the same question. Okay. Because we are in society, we are succumbed for so many stress and strain. So how to overcome this? Just to overcome. Step to overcome. Okay.
Sleeplessness.
Huh?
Overcome sleeplessness.
Sleeplessness. Same. Sleeplessness. How to
I
overcome?
don't have any stress.
Dharani, what?
Yeah. Like in the pranavayus, pranavayu and apanavayu, what about the other pranavayus? Like
Dhyana, Udana, Samana.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think there are far more other than that divided into so many other.
Okay. See, there are pancha pranas, pancha vayus, prana, apana, dhyana, udana, samana vayus. And there are pancha upavayus also. They are called Naga, Korma, Krokara, Devadatta, Dhanijas. These are main 10 vayus. Actually, one vayu, the prana shakti, which is coming downwards in the form of breathing, respirations, that has been divided into 10 parts. Mainly, main channels are 5 and sub channels are another more 5. You know. So the prana after division is again doing the same function as breathing. To start with, by coming downwards only, the prana has been divided into 5 parts. Among those 5 channels, the first channel is prana only. It is responsible for our breathing. And apana is responsible for our elimination. Elimination means excretory system. In the medical league, we can say there are 5 systems. The first system is respiratory system, dealing with the respirations. The other system is excretory system, that is responsible for elimination of urine and other fecal matter and other thing, motion. It's not even sweat also. Sweat, any secretion that is coming out of the body, it is responsible for this excretory system. There is another Vyana Vayu. Vyana means that is Vyana Sarvasarirgaha. This is responsible for cardiovascular system. So this Vayu, the same prana, has taken a part of in the form of a circulatory system. So it reacts firstly from the heart and the other blood vessels. So it is called Vyana Vayu, Vyana Sarvasarirgaha. There is another Vayu, Samanaha. Samanaha, it is responsible for digestive system. So the digestive system, the part responsible for digestive system stays in the stomach below the umbilicus. Samana Vayu. Whatever you food you take, that will be digested, and it will be ultimately the annarasam. The essence of the food will be diverted into the liver. From stomach, from stomach, some part of it is the food will be digested in the stomach itself, and a part of it will go down to intestine. That is first to start with duodenum, jejunum and ileum. These are the 3 parts of the small intestine. Afterwards, the last part is large intestine, where the excretory material that will be collected there. So all these vayus, which are whatever the blood circulation which is circulated in the small intestine and large intestine, all this is called samana vayu. Samana vayu means this is for digestion. And there is another vayu that is called udana vayu, that is endocrine system. So you know there are in hormones will be secreted at a particular gland. From there is no channel. For all other digestive enzymes, there is a channel, there is a duct, there is something channel like this from which the digestive enzymes will be secreted, and they will pass through these ducts, and they will enter into either into the saliva or stomach or large intestine, small something. All these are digestive enzymes with channels, but without the channel, the hormones will be directly secreted from the gland, and it will be directly absorbed into the blood. That is called endocrine system. Inhala granthalu, there is no duct. So all these 5 vayus or panch pranas, they are responsible for functioning of our entire body, both voluntary and involuntary also. Voluntary in the sense our mind works, and our muscles work, and our joints work. All these are under the control of the mind. They are called voluntary nervous system. And there is another system that is involuntary nervous system, that is autonomous nervous system. Autonomous nervous system is again consists of 2 parts, that is sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system mainly responsible for secretion of adrenaline and noradrenaline, and the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for acetylcholine. This is in the form of heat that stays in the right side of the spinal cord, and left side parasympathetic nervous system, that is anatomically yogic anatomy. We can say that all these system channels, this is nothing but the flow of the vayu, the prana shakti from the brain. When it is coming down, it will form a flow of some duct, what you call nadi. So that nadi cannot be physically seen in our body if you dissect. But there are some physical channels in our body. Practically, physically we can see. We call them nerves. So nerves are different from nadis. So you leave the physical structure of the body, which are seen as nerves and blood vessels. Whereas in yogic anatomy, the subtle body, social sariram, the main flow of this prana shakti will be divided into 5 parts. Pancha pranas, and again, Naga, Korma, Krukra, they are responsible for this sneezing, yawning, and even the expulsion of the fetus from the mother's womb. So, like that, they are all upavayus. All these are channels of the main prana of Shakti, that is prana, vital force. Is it not? Among these 10 forces, there are only 2 forces. What are they? Pranam. Pranam means that is responsible for the respiratory system. All these are involuntary. Involuntary means you don't have any control over them. But a part of is voluntary. What is that? That prana shakti. When you are breathing, if I ask you to stop the breathing for a while, can you stop it or not? You can stop it. Is not. But afterwards you cannot stop it. So that prana shakti, which is responsible for our respirations, is a part of it is voluntary. You can have some control, but afterwards it is purely involuntary. Like that, there is an excretory system, the process of urine motion. That is also partly voluntary, and the rest of it is involuntary. You can stop urine for a while, but afterwards you cannot. Like that motion also. So that is called apanam. So the apanam has got voluntary and involuntary parts, and prana has got voluntary and involuntary parts. The rest of the prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana vayus, and all other even pancha upavayus, they are all involuntary. They have no control. We have no control over them. It's not. But how to get over them? Only by means of this voluntary part, which is responsible for this pranayama. Now, what you call the swasana, breathing. So when you are breathing, if you catch hold of that breathing for a while, like that, that voluntary part can become a major role for this pranayama. So I have initiated you yesterday. Most of them are initiated. So with the advantage of voluntary part in the prana shakti, you are able to do pranayama. And also with the voluntary part of the apana, you are able to contract the anal part, that is called Aswini Mudra and other things. So these 2 parts are responsible. You can take advantage of these 2 parts and do pranayama. And ultimately with these 2 parts, you can get control over the other main force also. So like that, you will have complete control over the life force. Life force. That way, we have to do pranayama, not by simply indrawing exercise. Simply indrawing exercise is of no use. What is happening inside our body, you have to catch hold of that by having a grip over it. To have that grip is, you have to do pranayama. That grip is will start at the nasopharynx. Nasopharynx, yesterday I told you, fresh people may not be heard about it, but those who have taken initiation yesterday, they could understand that what is meant by nasopharynx means there is a part, uppermost portion of the throat, uppermost portion of the throat that is just opposite to the nose. That is called nasopharynx. You have to do pranayama there only. If you do pranayama there, you will have grip over the life force. Not all of a sudden, but if you continuously go on doing within up and down, you will have control over the life force. That is the way of doing pranayama, not by simply taking air from outside and keeping there in the lungs and changing the nostrils alternatively. These are only external method, external superficial method. But the exact method of controlling this prana shakti is internal Antarmukha pranayam. Antarmukha pranayam. So when you are not having control over this respiratory system, naturally the respiration is always outwards only, mainly. You are respiring more and expiring less. When you are expiring more means you are losing mental energy also. When you are losing more mental energy, naturally your mind will become restless. It's not. Your question is how to overcome the restlessness. Everybody is becoming restless because he is continuously losing this vital energy through the respirations. So unless you have control over it, you cannot have. So just by simply thinking or something doing with the mind, you cannot have that because mind is already being influenced by the respirations. So unless you control the respiration, you cannot have control of the mind. So if you want to overcome the restlessness, you have to catch hold of the breath, breathing. Is it not? That the breathing should be controlled in a systematic scientific technique that is told in Bhagavad Gita. Lord Sri Krishna told this, and our Guru Parampara and previous Patanjali Maharshi, and in olden days, so many rishis practices the same. But without knowing proper understanding, proper practical knowledge, most of us, we are doing like this. This is only external nadi sodhana. There is a separate technique in it, but it is very easy. Only thing is you should learn through a proper guru. Otherwise, most of the people that are coming in between, telling so many names, Kundalini Yogam, Kundalini or something like that. What is Kundalini? Kundalini is nothing but your own prana shakti. So the prana shakti is already being regularly going out. You do pranayama and have control of it. That is Kundalini Jagrat or Kundalini awakening. It is not in the anal Vajj. Anal Vajj only is the terminal part of the Kundalini. See, the anal Vajj or what you call molas and all these things, you might be thorough with all these words. This is nothing but the terminal part of the Kundalini. The starting point of the Kundalini is here. Kundalini means prana. Prana. See, in the mother's womb, when we are starting with our respirations, the first expression starts from here. So the life force or vital energy starts from here, and it will be trickled down through the spinal nerves, and again it will be responsible for taking up again. So the Kundalini starts from here, and it ends here. So if you want to have control of this, or awakening, or elevating the Kundalini, your catching point is not here, it is here only. That is the main drawback in this yogam. Most of the people will think that you have to catch hold of this and do so many other things, thinking that you are awakening the Kundalini which is sleeping here. It is not sleeping here. The energy which is in the form of our respirations is being regularly wasted out. When it is wasted out, naturally whatever the food you take, and even from atmosphere also, that will be collected and solidified here in the form of apanam. That apanam, the lowermost part of apanam is Buddha. That is anal Vajj. Is not? Unless you have connection between the prana and the sapana, you cannot have awaken the Kundalini. So to awaken Kundalini, you have to first catch under the prana. That seat, you have to have the grip over the Nasabhyantara. That is what told by Lord Sri Krishna. So start from here and catch hold here, combine them, and do them up and down, combine together. Then only your Kundalini will be awakened. How can you know that it is awakened? When you are doing pranayama, you are inspiring up to certain this level only. But gradually, due to the heat generated during this pranayama, that will be elongated. The elongation of the inspiratory phase is called Kundalini awakening. Without knowing this practically, most of the people, they are trying to contract the muscles and all these things. This is not the pranayama or kundalini. And moreover, they are totally relied upon the external air only. Whatever you say, something like this. This external air is only if inorganic gas. External air contains oxygen. What is that oxygen? Oxygen is 8 atoms. 8 electrons and protons combined together, there is one atom called oxygen. And its molecular, its molecule is O2. Does it have any knowledge? Does it have any knowledge? Tell me. No. But whatever your life force, it has got 4 qualities: knowledge, happiness, divine light, and power also. Is it not? You have to deal with the internal prana shakti only, not with the inorganic gas. This world should understand. Without knowing this, you are trying to awake something kundalini awakening. What is that awakening? Understand? Okay. Any more question?
Like for people with constipation and other digestive issues, can the pranayama
Definitely. That
can
will.
heal
Are
our
you doing
body?
anything about yoga?
Yeah.
Yes, you must be.
Yeah.
You must be. That's why you're asking that question.
Yeah. Also, I mean, actually, doctors told me that I have to get my gallbladder removed because it's not functioning. It's functioning.
Not at all functioning. Contracting. So some contracture is there.
Yeah.
So there must be naturally some might have. There must be cystitis. There must be some infection previously.
Yeah.
With that infection only, the walls of the gallbladder might be shrinking. So they say that it's not functioning.
Not functioning, but I don't want to get it removed. Rather, I wanted to heal it naturally.
Definitely.
So that's why
that can be done by this pranayama. That can be done. Not only your gallbladder, every cell of our body will be under your control. Why? Because you are directly catching the prana shakti, which is responsible for our survival of the cells. Leave alone the parts. You are catching every cell. Is it not? Okay, not only your constipation also. Constipation is, why constipation? Most of the people are suffering from constipation, especially in elderly people, and especially people with diabetes. They will be suffering with this constipation. Constipation to counteract this constipation, most of the people we advocate to take more water. Is it not? And that too, we advise to take more water in the early morning. Ushapana. Warm water. But it is one way useful, but simultaneously you should be careful that you are overloading the body with water. See, if you want to pass away the waste material from the large intestine, there are 2 methods. One is by overloading from the mouth. You go on taking more water. Naturally, your intestines cannot accommodate your water. So they will push away your motion also. That is the one way of doing this elimination. But there is a danger after that also. But there is this scientific systematic technique is your bowels will be moving only by means of this blood circulation. Speedy, thorough blood circulation. If you do pranayama, the blood circulation to the kidney, intestines, heart, liver, brain, whatnot, everything will be getting sufficient and more adequate blood supply. When you are getting more adequate blood supply, naturally the peristaltic movements of the intestines will be very profuse. Not only profuse, they will be very healthy. If not, so like that, you have to maintain the peristaltic movements of the intestine by having more blood circulation. How? By doing pranayama. Without knowing the pranayama, simply all the people, we are trying to overload the gut by taking more water. Is it not? Overload. So when there is overload, naturally your kidney will have to pour more urine and your motion also. Motion also. But afterwards, if you pour more water, what will happen to your heart? What happens? I will tell you. I will tell you. You are taking water regularly. You don't know what is happening. Thinking that so many impurities are going through sweat and all urine, all these things. It's not. I will hang a glass, a tumbler of water to your neck with some months of a rope. I will with a thread. You take a tumbler of water, encircled with a thread, and hang it to your neck, around your neck. You put it here. You go on breathing. What will happen? How do you feel? How do you feel? Huh? Pressure. So for every upward movement, you will have to lift the glass of water. Isn't it? You have to. For every upward movement, inspiration, you will have to lift the tumbler of water, only tumbler of water. But we are taking so many tumblers of water. Isn't it? Even after taking water, so you will feel breathless. Isn't it? When you take water, you will feel breathless. Why? Because there is heaviness on the heart and lungs also. There is an overload on that. You only one advantage of taking water, but there is so much disadvantage of taking this more water. See, water is responsible for two things. If you take water, so many water soluble materials are there, including vitamins and other things. They are good, useful. But if you go on taking more water, the apana shakti, what you called was the lowermost portion that is causing this heaviness, that is apana shakti. The water itself is apana shakti. Water itself is apana shakti. That is responsible for our creation. If not, if you go on pouring water, suppose you pour water regularly to a tree, it will be growing. If you go on pouring more water, what will happen to it? Huh? It will rot. During rainy season, in the initial stage of initial period of rainy season, we will be getting more vegetables growing because of plenty of water. But there is heavy downfall of water, rains. What will happen? You don't find the vegetables. Why? Because there is overpouring of water. So don't allow your body to such a way that your vegetables shall never grow into your body. Is it not? There are so many disadvantages. What all these yoga teachers and other people, nutritionists are telling about this water and other things, even nature of the doctors also. I also studied. I know about all these things. But I know the disadvantage also. Is it not? Suppose if you pour water over a pan, when you're cooking a curry over a pan, it is about to be boiled. That means the curry is about to be finalized. The boiling, the preparation. You pour a tumbler on chumbu of water, 1 liter of water into the pan, what will happen? Tell me the disadvantage. One is cool down. Another is the taste will be gone. The third one is you have to add more fuel. More fuel will be consumed. Is it not? And if you go on water, the taste, not only taste is spoiled, but it will be divided into so many unwanted products also. I will tell you. What is that? See, if you put firewood, dry firewood into a stove, not this stove, in ordinary Indian stove for cooking, there is a stove below and over which there will be a pan. You will add water, curry, and all these things. You will cook it. Is not. So in that pan, when you are cooking, if you put the dry firewood, how the fire will come? How the fire will come? Maximum fire will come, and it will be turned into ashes only. Nothing will be remaining. You will require that energy from the fire for cooking. You will get the benefit of 10%. If not, suppose if you put wet firewood, what will happen?
Won't burn.
Won't burn, one thing. Second thing, smoke will be coming. Is it not? So what does smoke contain? Smoke contain what? Huh? Carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide also. And water vapor. Of course, water vapor, leave on that. But these are the two main bad elements. What are they? Carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. Where from they are coming? They are coming from the wet firewood. So these are coming only due to water in the firewood. If you don't have any water in the firewood, you will get smoke. Without smoke, you will get pure fire. It's not. So the smoke is coming due to water. It's not. That water, when it is evaporated, the smoke coming, it will be turned into acid. It will be turned into acid. And that acid will be responsible for acidity of your blood. When there is much acidity, that will be responsible more thirsty. See, most of our, we know the experience that when you are taking a heavy meal, after that you will be taking more water. More water. Even if you take much water, your thirst will never be fulfilled. Why? Because you already empty a vicious circle. What is that vicious circle? Whatever the food you have taken, that's not properly digested because of more water and other things. You got smoke. That smoke-like thing, those are impurities. Those impurities are responsible for your conversion of your blood into acidity. pH will be shifted to less than 7. So when there is acidity, the hypothalamus, which is having two centers, thirst and appetite, these centers will be stimulated. When they are stimulated, you will get more thirst. You will take more water. More water against more smoke. More smoke against acids. Acids against stimulation of the hype. What will happen? So whatever amount of water you take, that will be entered into vicious circle. This is a danger this world is not able to understand. The yogi alone can understand. If a person does pranayama, because of this gushing of blood supply, pure blood supply to the brain, the oxygen supplied, oxygen in the sense, not this oxygen, the prana shakti itself, when it is sufficiently circulated to the hypothalamus and pituitary, the centers, the thirst and appetite centers will be inhibited, they will be suppressed. When they are suppressed, you don't get thirst. So a person perfectly doing this pranayama will never get more thirst. The first and foremost result you get is less of thirst. Not only that, there will be more urination because you are circulating more. So more urine is of two types. If you go on pouring more water, you will be getting more diluted urine. But some amount of water will be staying in the body. It will be staying. We think that whatever we are taking, we are throwing out. Never it will happen. Suppose if I put this wet, dry cloth into a bucket of water and filter it like this. You say that I have filtered 10%. Can it be possible? But it will be whatever amount with pressure you filter it, but some amount of water will be residing there. So that's why the wet cloth will be always heavier than the dry cloth. Is it not? So what is the difference? The difference is water only. So like that, even if you're getting more, filtering more, but some amount of water will be residing in the body. When there is some amount of water in the body, that is responsible for your heaviness. Heaviness. What is heavy, So when you are feeling heaviness, you cannot have breath upwards freely. When you don't have free upward respirations, breathing inside, naturally your digestive engines will be diluted. Digestion in the sense, because of more water, the digestive engines will be diluted. So diluted digestive enzymes plus water always responsible for our heaviness. When there is heaviness, you're going to take it upward, and when you are not taking it upwards properly, again the pituitary and hypothalamus, they will be having ischemia. They don't have proper blood supply. They will go on asking, come, please supply water. Like that, they will be asking. So these are all the dangers of taking on unnecessary more water. Water is no doubt, water is a must, but you should know how much to be taken and when to be taken. Of course, now so many YouTube people, they will be prescribed correctly about the time of taking water. So start taking water before 1 hour, or after taking also food also you stop for 1 hour. Like that, that is good. But overall, you should minimize the amount of taking of water. Understand? There is one slokam in Ayurveda. Achampupanat, Atimaidunascha, Devasuptaicha, Nishijagarat, Malasya, Motrasya, Sanirodhat, Shadbhi Prakaraihi Pravalanti Roga. There are 6 conditions with which you will be having more diseases. Achampupanat, if you go on taking more water, Atimaidunascha, if you are more indulgent in sex, Devasuptaucha, if you sleep in the daytime, Nishijagarat, if you are more wakeful in the night time, and Malasya Motrasya, if you don't pass urine and motion regularly. All these 6 conditions are responsible for increase of diseases. This is not my version. This is told in Ayurveda. So without knowing all these facts, people are thinking that, oh, take more water. Water, take water when you feel thirst. If you don't feel thirst, don't take water. What is it? See, in the winter season, naturally the external atmosphere pressure, temperature is low down. So you don't have thirst. But according to these people's suggestion, no, irrespective of the atmosphere condition, you go on taking 5-10 liters of water. What is this? It's not. So regarding, because most of you are thorough with this yoga, you are doing that, and I am happy. But the thing is, you should combine your yogic knowledge with yoga. That yoga means antarmukha pranayama. This nobody is telling. Whereas yoga can be learned through textbooks or so many yoga teachers, or through any media. But this pranayama, this is the most secret method, can never be expelled, told out, should never be told out. You have to learn it from a learned guru. That's why this yogam, this scientific yogam, traditional Sanatana Brahma Vidya, is gradually undermined by all these superficial methods. So whatever you want to overcome, not only your stress or restlessness or digestion, whatever you want, you will get benefit out of this pranayama. Why? Because you are increasing your pranashakti by taking upwards. Due to deficiency of this only, you are succumbed for both physical and mental issues. According to age, most of the people are suffering from depression. So many diseases, dementia, forgetfulness, and even this trembling of the fingers and other things, Parkinsonism and Alzheimer's. All these are due to insufficient blood supply, prana shakti to the brain. If you go on doing this upwards, everything will be rectified. Even memory also. You know memory power. What is my age? What is my memory power? Can you compare? There are so many doctors who are much younger than me, but they cannot memorize the medical subject. But I can tell each and every point from the anatomy, physiology, and everything that was learned in the year 1975. That means almost 50 years back, what I studied, I can tell it now. Why? Because of this memory power by doing this pranayama. Not only that, I can chant all these slokas. You must be hearing in the YouTube, our channel, without funking or thinking or anything. Spontaneously, all these slokas will be coming. How? Because of memory power. Of course, there is a blessing of our Gurudevs that is behind. We should never forget that. We should have always the blessings of Gurus. With their blessings only, you can proceed further by doing this pranayama. Just not. So, anybody who can ask question? You are a doctor. Yesterday you got initiated. Now you can put forth the question. Yesterday, I think you got to understand. She was not only herself, most of our scientific people, medical people, will be thinking that the exchange of oxygen by external air taking inside, and the blood will be purified with the oxygen, and then you are expelling the carbon dioxide outside. That is the exchange of oxygen. For that, I told one example, because already told her, but you all people knew, I will again tell the same example.
So my question was, by enhancing the breathing, increasing your capacity or exploring unexplored areas of the
Okay.
nodules, and I assume that it is going to increase the gaseous exchange, but then you...
Yeah, after getting initiated, you within 24 hours you got the difference, but there is still to be understood by you. What is that? It is not simply increasing the lung capacity. The force which is responsible for proper functioning of the heart and lungs, that you are increasing. You are increasing the life force, not simply expanding the lungs.
That's what you're
Yes. Yes. So there is another thing. This is a challenging scientific point. What you know, so when you are trying to pluck off 2 mangoes from a tree, among these 2, one has fallen down onto the ground. One is picked into your hand. You catch out of these 2 fruits, not fruits, just matured nuts, something like that. So the fruit which has fallen down has broken its skin. You take that and this also. You keep these 2 in a husk, paddy husk, very good deep, and keep it there for 4 or 5 days. What will happen? The fruit which has broken its skin will be spoiled first. It's not. Why it is spoiled?
Because skin is already
Damage. Skin damage, okay. What happened after that? Exposed to atmosphere. Is it not? Not only exposed to atmosphere means 2 things happen. The energy inside the fruit has come out. Another thing is the air from outside has entered in. Is it not? There is an exchange of both external air and internal pranam outside. Because of exchange only, that fruit is spoiled. Is it not? Spoiled first.
Whereas the regular fruit which is matured, which is going to be matured without breaking of its skin, is stayed as fruit. So what is happening with this exchange? What is happening? Deterioration. So we think that after this, doing this, all these exercises, all these exercises by taking air from outside and keeping there, thinking that it is being, there is exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide and expelling like that. Is it not? So you compare a person perfectly doing internal pranayama inside. Yesterday she got initiated, she's a doctor. She could understand something. Didn't you find some difference? Okay. That means the person who is doing this pranayama inside, it will look like the fruit which has not fallen into the ground. Because the force, the vital force is already retained inside that fruit. That way it stayed longer. Whereas the fruit which is having exchange of oxygen, what you call? Oxidation. All these things will be, they are spoiling you. See, in order to get good results, we are going to the worst of it. But there is something behind that. What is that? If you go on increasing the lung capacity, naturally to take this exercise, you are indirectly taking life force upwards. That's why it is getting some benefit of it, out of it. See, what this Solnoma, Villoma, Bhastrika, and all these things, they are indirectly helping to lift your life force upwards only, but very superficially, because your aim and your target is only to exhalate, withdraw. To withdraw the exhalate. It is not to withdraw the exhalate, to lift your life force upwards. But you are indirectly doing that. But in this pranayama, you are directly catching that. That is the main difference between the pranayama and the other methods. Is it not? Understood? Okay. Right.
How much water to drink?
Dharani? No, how much water you are taking? Please tell me.
I am taking like 2 glasses or 3 glasses in the morning.
Okay.
During the day, I don't keep account. When I'm thirsty, I will.
That's good. Enough. That is enough. But previously you must be taking more water, I think so. Why you stopped taking that much water after hearing my speech? You tell me frankly.
Sadhguru was also talking about that.
Uh,
Not take too much
Did he tell pranayama?
No,
Then how can you stop taking more water? Without doing pranayama, nobody can stop taking more water. Is it not? Because voluntarily you might have reduced taking water. Voluntarily, because you know the difference, the danger of taking more water. I have narrated so many times, and you heard my speeches so many times. Is it not? In that sessions also, I told, don't take more water. You can voluntarily reduce taking water, but don't forcibly reduce it. Leave it to the atmosphere. Is it not? But keep your remove this point in your brain that if I take more water, I will be more healthy. That point you should remove it. You are taking cold water, passing hot urine. Is it not? You are taking cold water, passing hot urine. What is happening? More energy is being lost. And not only that, if you are taking more water and more passing more urine, are you becoming more active? Please tell me. Because if you take more water and pass more urine, so many impurities are being thrown out, and you are feeling that I am becoming more healthy. Can you dare say that I am becoming healthy? In Telugu, we say it is 30 చెరువులు నీరు తాగాడు వీడు అంటారు. విన్నారా లేదా? 33 చెరువులు వీడు తాగించాను అంటారు. When your brain he is with funking, naturally you will take more water because of restlessness. And all these things are creating more acids in your body. That will ask you to take more water. You know, not only myself, any SIDDHAYOGI, any person who is practicing this pranayama will take how much water, please tell me. Kavita, you tell me your experience.
I used to be taking the water of everything I was following, forcefully taking 4 glasses of water from the morning. Now I don't even like, I'm not like saying that what the Guruji is saying, go by weather. Sometimes I don't even take not even a glass of water, but I am doing like, I never felt like I need to take the water at all.
But we are afraid if you reduce taking water, you will be suffering from dehydration and kidney stones will be formed. You know why kidney stones are formed? How you convert your ice, water into ice? How you convert your water into ice? How? By reducing temperature, is it not? So like that, if you allow your body to lose your energy to the respirations, what will happen to your body? The body goes on cooling, cool down. When it is cooled down, you will get more phlegm. That phlegm ultimately solidifies in certain areas, like bladder stones, like gallbladder stones, and kidney stones. All these are nothing but the cooling of your body. To eliminate them, if you go and take more water, what will happen? Will it be heated up? What do you say? See, without knowing the danger of the other side, we doctors educate to take all these things. You should, if you want to tell the health principles, you should know correctly. Huh?
I have a question.
Oh, what is that?
They usually say that there will be vata dosha.
Vata dosha.
Vata dosha is because of overheat in the body also, right?
Please explain.
Yeah, so I just wanted to know, like those who have vata dosha also might have kidney stone, like in general, like how, like what is vata dosha?
Yes. Your question is according to Ayurveda. So vata means what? Vata means what? Vata means air or vayu. Say in our body, the blood circulation or any system is working with within these 3 doshas only. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Itna. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Vata means air. That means a person is suffering from vata means this vayu circulation is predominant in certain areas. But some parts are not getting blood supply properly. Is it not? When these 2 parts, domination at certain area and lessening blood supply to certain area, that will come under vata dosha. Is it not? Even pitta also, when you are getting energy from the food, that energy is properly utilized. Some amount of it will be turned into pitta. Pitta means paichum, bile. So there will be increasing of bile from the liver. Whatever the vata or pitta are predominant, ultimately it will be turned into slow blood circulation. It's not. Because you are not at all doing anything with the blood circulation. Simply your blood flow is improper, imbalanced to all the parts of the body. Ultimately, there will be hampering of the blood supply. That will be responsible for accumulation of kapha. You know, any person dies with what? Is it vata? Is it due to vata or pitta or kapha? Kapha only. Kapha only. At the time of death, your lungs will be filled with so many secretions, kapha. That is due to kapha. So ultimately, you make it a point that there are two things. Only is increase your energy or the present condition of less energy. When there is less energy, all these three doshas will be turned into kapha. These three things will be nullified or balanced by taking your life force upwards by churning your pranayama. When you do pranayama, all these three doshas will be balanced. If not, nobody will tell like that because they don't know how to do pranayama. Simply they are relying upon these are the people which are more predominant with vata and pitta and kapha, and you have to take this diet accordingly. Like that, they are suggesting. It's not. There are only two doshas. That is, you are losing energy downwards. When you are losing energy downwards, naturally your body will be cooled down. When it is cooled down, in certain areas it will be turned into stones formation. And in certain areas it will be turned into blood circulation, blood will be turned into thrombosis, heart attack, paralysis. All these are nothing but due to accumulation of phlegm, cool down. What should we do? You have to do churning within yourself. There is no other medicine or food or anything required from outside, provided if you do this pranayama. This is such a method. I, being a doctor, I got experience with both physiology and this yogic anatomy, so I can analyze what is happening while doing pranayama. Now, there were patients. In Eluru, there is one patient. He is taking 8 liters, 10 liters of water at the age of started taking from 18 years onwards. At the age of 18, since 18 years, now he is 36, he was taking 8 to 10 liters of water. Somehow he got this pranayama online. His taking of water gradually reduced from 8, 10 to 5 liters. Then within 4 weeks, he has come to 2 liters. Now he is taking only 1 liter. And he is more energetic also. If you have got more water in your body, it can never be energetic. Energy in the sense pranashakti. The pranashakti is inversely proportional to your water. In younger age, most of we are experienced. We are very lean. We'll be taking more water, more food, but you will never become obese. Because you are spending energy and also water, everything. Because of more pranashakti in your body. When it is regularly lost out, as the days pass on, you will become obese. Because pranashakti is less concentrated, it is going downwards. So, if you have more energy, no water or less water. If you have less energy, naturally you will have to take more water. Understand? This is the yogic science behind this. Without knowing this, what Kalpana, you are smiling, what is it you are going to ask?
There was an article, Washington Post.
Please.
Why you don't need to drink 8 cups of water a day? Why you do not need to drink?
What is that article? First of all, let me tell you. This article or anything, this is written by any person, whether he is dealing with the pranashakti or not. First, let me know. When any person cannot understand what is meant by pranam or vital energy, whatever the article is, that article will be towards this worldly people take more water. That's all.
On contrary, it is like you don't have to take water.
Don't have to take, but circumstantially you might have come to that conclusion.
Based on
Circumstantially you might have, not that. Practically one should experience. See, you are a doctor, I can tell you, whatever the experiment you want to do, there are two things. One is viva and another is vitro. Vivo, vitro. Vitro means doing experiment outside. Viva means within yourself. Is it not? So the yogic science or pranayama will totally deal with the vivo. 100% you can practically experience from your experience. Is it not? But doing experiment on the other side, outside, vivo, it may be correct or may not be correct. If a person is suffering from pain, stomach pain, you will prescribe one tablet. You are a doctor, you will prescribe one tablet. He gets relief. No doubt. But who got the experience? Is the doctor experience or the patient experience? The patient experience by taking water, he got the experience of vivo. Whereas the doctor is telling in terms of vitro. Is it not? Like that, all these articles are coming. Now, please tell me what is the article? You need not explain outside. Okay, read it. Okay.
I want to stop control the water drinking, but my throat is so dry. And then if I won't drink water, I'm start.
If you feel dry, take more water than ordinary person also. I never tell that don't take water. If you feel thirst, take water. But instead of taking cold water, you better to take hot water, warm water. Okay. Archana.
So they have done a research and they found out that there is no clinical evidence of dehydration in patients who have consumed less than 8 cups of water compared to patients who have.
That is correct. That is correct. We have got some preoccupied opinion. With this opinion only, we are thinking like that. I will give an example, circumstantially. You take a tamarind tree. The tamarind tree will be having leaves small, this much. How much? Small leaves. How much water it will take? How long it will stay? Suppose you take a banana tree, plantain. Its leaves are so much. It requires more water. And after 1 year, it has to be cut out. This banana tree, plantain, will stay for only 1 year, not more than 1 year. And meanwhile, it requires more water. There is a tamarind tree with little leaves will stay for years together. How? You take desert plants. All the desert plants will be having thorns with little or very minimum of leaves because of lack of sufficient water in the desert. So our body should be turned into a desert plant like that. There are two bodies in our body, among our people. What is that? Apakva paripakva sadehina dvidasmrutaha. Apakva yogahinastu pakva yogini dehina. Pakva means, pakva means ripening. How it ripens, You take a fresh raw fruit and keep it there in husk. After 2 or 3 days, it will be turned into some colored fruit. But if you palpate that, there will be water staying around the moisture, around that fruit. What will happen? Because of, unless that water is come out from that, it never be turned into fruit. So ripening or pakva only by throwing out water from our body. This nobody understands. go on pouring water. For paddy, more water is required initially, but afterwards, at the time of this harvestation, if you go on pouring water, it will never ripen. Not only ripen, it will be rotten. It's not. Not only paddy, anything you take. So there is certain age. For that, you have to take more water. That is young age. But later on, your digestion power is hampered. It is being reduced gradually. But unfortunately, reversely we are taking. When the digestion power is less, we are taking more water. That's why a person who is doing this pranayama, you do it thoroughly and tell me the results. What I am telling is 10% correct or not.
Can I understand that we are breathing just shallow, just from the nose, and yogam is like from the throat? That's what we should.
That is good. That is good question. See, initially, this is called initiation. That is only the beginning of the pranayama. You start from here only, but you are going on deepening it. It will go up here and downwards also. You will have to push the life force, the apanam, downward force, the expression, internal expression. Outward expression is just with the external. But during this pranayama, there is an internal expression that is called rechika. You have to go on pushing downwards only to catch the lowest portion of the pranashakti, that is at the anal verge. That is called Mooladhara, what you call. So in order to catch hold of the lowest portion of the pranashakti, that is apanam, you have to go from above downwards and again push it upwards. Is it not? So initially it is not shallow. It looks like shallow. But if you go on doing that, it will have a grip over it. Shallow means you are taking more extra air inside. That is shallow. When you are doing pranayama, you are not getting more air. Did you experience that or not? Did not? Dharani, did you experience? Yesterday itself you got initiated, but you are sound with the theory. You are otherwise doing some other methods previously. But what about the difference between the previous sadhanas and yesterday's pranayama? See, the person who is doing this pranayama is not taking more air inside. And not only that, he is not expelling more outside also. Thereby, there is an internal churning inside. That looks like that there is a shallow breathing. It is not shallow breathing. It is a deep breathing with the inner pranashakti. Shallow, you are comparing with the external air. But what you are saying, this is shallow. We are going to deeper of it. It is not.
Right now, what we are all breathing is
Shallow, that is correct, 100%. Now you are going to deeper of it. That is pranayama.
Now we have to breathe from the throat.
Throat initially. No. That is the catching point. Understood. Okay. What is your good name, Amma? Lakshmi. What are you doing?
I work for a software. There is
Software.
work for me.
Okay. Simultaneously, you are practicing yoga.
I have constipation issues. I don't have any stones, gallbladder stones or anything, but they said they have to remove it because of constipation.
Don't remove it. Do pranayama.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Any more? It is about 12. So,
So Patanjali is Ashtanga, different angas. Like after doing the pranayama, like the pratyahara, dharana, all. So it's one thing is like to get into those states, first we need to increase the pranashakti and stuff. And
if
what
you,
about samadhi and
okay. If you increase the pranashakti, that will directly lead to samadhi. Don't worry about these Ashtanga yogas. These are only description of the same method. You have to reform both mentally and physically also. To reform, you have to do pranayama. To do pranayama, you have to observe the mental principles which will come under Ashtanga, Yama, Niyama, and all. Without asana, you can do pranayama. So your pranayama includes your asana also. And without pranayama, can you observe the mental principles? You can never. So if you do pranayama, Yama, Niyama also will come under your pranayama. Asana also. And if you observe lastly, I said meditate for 10 minutes, that will come under dharana. And the end result is jhanam. And without any result is samadhi. Samadhi, we people think that you have to go samadhi. Go to samadhi. If you enter into samadhi, you don't have to come back again. But there are people that are practicing, samadhi practicing. How to practice? You do up to pranayama. Naturally, it will go to dharana and other things. Need not do them, even meditation also, jhana also. Jhana is not sadhana. It is only end result of pranayama. You have to experience that. If you do churning buttermilk, you will get butter. Churning buttermilk is pranayama. And getting the butter is dharana. And you collect it, if you collect it, that will come under dharana and then jhana. So to get buttermilk, this butter, you have to do churning only. You need not do anything else. What should you do? Churning, that's all. If you collect the butter or not, nothing to worry. It will be automatically collected there. Is it not? Without doing churning, all these things, you people are trying to close your eyes and do something, calling it as meditation. What is that meditation? Meaningless meditation. Is it not? Yes. If you want to get cream out of this, but unfortunately, we are thinking that pranayama is a physical exercise, like yoga. This is not physical exercise. This is totally dealing with the mind. Unless you keep your mind on every respiratory cycle, you cannot do pranayama. If you simply meditate, you can keep away your mind and go to sleep. But if you do pranayama regularly, you have to keep your mind on each and every respiratory up and down movements. That's why it is increasing mental energy, because it is totally dealing with the mind. So you are now combining the life force and the mind, thereby you will be getting more mental energy. That alone is responsible for wisdom or knowledge. That will yield you the more spiritual power and divine light also. So this is scientifically connected with the mind. Is it raining outside? Stopped. Only for puja. We have to stop the session because we have to travel up to Houston for about 6 hours. So we have to finish off 4 hours. If there is no rain. Any more question? I don't want to stop it abruptly. Any question?
Yesterday you said we can have coffee, but we said we should stop having tea.
Tea.
Yeah. But I think coffee has more caffeine, right? So
This is the scientific research you told.
I wanted to know, like, why.
That's why whatever the ill effects of any food or medicine, anything, you experiment within yourself. Don't hear the words of others. For example, till you are taking only tea. Never touched coffee also, you are taking coffee also. Huh?
Only
Only tea. You stop taking tea. I say you start with the coffee. Do pranayama. Tell me. Coffee will stimulate momentarily, and the whatever the blood circulation is there, it will be more. It will be increased. Coffee will accelerate pranayama. But heaven's sake, don't take much coffee. Only once a day. If you go on taking tea, your urination will be more. Tea contains theophylline. That theophylline is responsible for more urine. So more urination is of by two types. If your body is cooled down, you will get more urine. Your blood circulation is more, you will be more urine. A yogi will be having more urine initially. But whereas a non-yogi, if he takes more tea, he will get more urine. These are all research points, vivo points, within my body experimented points.
So even coffee also is like a diuretic, right? When you drink coffee also, you'll be like highly dehydrated, and even the expulsion of urine gets more. Like I also experienced with coffee, like even the urination effects of tea I see that even in coffee. So I kind
See, because you are already dehydrated, to compensate that you are taking coffee or tea. That will never compensate your dehydration.
I generally don't use anything like tea or coffee, but when I normally drink coffee or tea, then I experience like, dehydration.
Because your system is not accustomed like that. Some people who take tea or coffee, there will be acidity in their body. The acidity will be increased. Acidity, why? Because acidity means more acids. More acids means your coffee itself is creating acidity. Even tea also. So in such conditions, you should never take tea or coffee. I don't advise to take coffee also. People suffering from slightest acidity should never touch with tea or coffee. With not.
One fact was like the food sattvam.
Your good name?
Tagu.
Tagore. What are you doing? Software. Okay. Right.
Yeah. So like regarding the food, the sattvikamina aharam, tamasmika aharam, rajasmika aharam. So like
Potentially, in nature itself, there are foods. They are divided into three varieties: sattva, rajas, tamogana. See, some foods, if you take directly, it will give you energy more. Among the vegetables, the ash god, that is good. But there are foods like onion and garlic. They will stimulate the nose initially, but later on they will be extracting energy from inside. They will come under tamogana. Garlic is good for heart, but not for the brain. Onion is good for heart and for other things also, but not for the brain. Because all these things, they will stimulate the senses. You cannot have much control over your senses. That's why all these diet will come under tamasika. There are certain foods. Suppose patolakam, there is one, potlakaya. That is a very good satvika. It contains more energy. And if you take that curry regularly, your brain becomes softened.
What about chili?
Chili? Why do you ask question like that? The answer for the chili is there in that word itself. Any more? If you want to have more answers, you come to India. Because I have to leave. Or else you go through our videos. There is a big channel is there, ANTARMUKHANANDA channel, because most of you are Telugu people, you can understand. There are about 980 videos. You go through that channel and do practice. You practice pranayama and go through those videos. You can understand how far my versions are correct. We came here not to bluff all of you, only to tell the fact and to condemn the unwanted people. Without having the proper practical yogic knowledge, with vocabulary, we are trying to convince the people. Philosophy is not vocabulary or psychology. You have to tell practically. Till now, you could understand there are so many chakras like this. These chakras. Did you ever see chakra? Because you didn't see dissected the body. But I have dissected. I have dissected. But the people, the Babas and all this, they are also telling about chakras.
But we say that they are not physical in nature, right? They are like
See, whatever there is in the physical body, accordingly, proportionally, they will be there in the subtle body. If not, if you take alcohol, it will never directly attack the subtle body. It will attack the physical body also. The subtle body will be always according to the physical body only. You are taking physical food or subtle food. You are getting kapha, is it physical or subtle? Everything is physical. So without knowing the physical body, how can you say that there are some great chakras in some people say that I've seen 108 chakras. I have done research for these chakras for the last 43 years. Not only myself, there are hundreds of doctors following me because they were also initiated in this pranayama. I have been asking everywhere I go, do you find chakras? Did you dissect body or not? Did you find any chakra? They say, no. You people think that they say that chakras are something like Moladhara Swadhisthana. Are they outside the spinal cord or inside the spinal cord? If they are outside the spinal cord, can you say it is chakra? It is only junction points of the nerves, plexus. If you say that within the spinal cord means there are not only 6 or 7, 8, there are 33 vertebrae. Within that, there are 31 pairs of nerves. So you should say that there are 31 chakras according to anatomy. Either you say 31 chakras or don't say that chakras are not in the spinal cord, they are outside. If you say outside, they are within the plexus. At which level you are taking that chakra? These are not chakras. This is only a mental feeling, the elevation, the mental energies. When it is elevated by doing pranayama, your mind transforms into one level to another level. All those chakras are mentioned to tell about the mental transformation at the Ajna chakra only. All of a sudden, you cannot believe my words. Suppose a person who has taken initiation some 2 or 3 days back, even if you also can experience, you got it initiated yesterday himself. When you are doing pranayama, did you get any amount of heat here? Huh? Did you find that? Did you experience that? You experienced that there is some heat here. According to this anatomy, what these people are telling, what is this chakra? Ajna chakra. Have you gone to Ajna Chakra without crossing the Mooladhara Chakra? No? Is it? You are directly getting heating from here, but you have no dealt with any lower chakras. What you say? Dharani. When you are doing pranayama, you are getting heat directly here. Is it not? What you call is Ajna Chakra. So pranayama is dealing with which chakra first? Upwards only. So start with Ajna Chakra, then go to Mooladhara. See the reverse happening. See the reverse happening. What these people are thinking. Start with here, go down, and ultimate last withdrawal point is your Mooladhara. But we think that we will start from here, do some exercise like this. I will tell you an example. You are withdrawing water from a well, ground well. You are putting one empty bucket from above and withdrawing water with the help of a rope. You are above the well, mind you. Don't forget that. You are above the well. You are withdrawing air from water from the well with heavy bucket of bucket, and again emptying it, again pouring it, putting it in an empty bucket. Whatever you are pulling or pushing is happening from where? It is from above only, because you are above the well. So you are here. This is the well. We are trying to take this Kundalini Shakti. These people are telling, Kundalini awakening. What all these happenings? Are they started from here or here? Here only, because you are the withdrawer. So you are withdrawing the energy from above, not from below. Without knowing these things, we are thinking that I have started going to first Mooladhara. If you go to Manipuraka, you will be getting so many things, wealth, health, and whatnot. If you go to motion, what will happen to your chakra? Are you passing motion or urine from here or here? From here. So if you say that I have reached this level and without going downwards, can you pass urine? So where are you now then? Is it standard? So you must be having grip over it. That the grip is here. That is what I told to have that grip, that is this pranayama. This is not my technique. This is good old traditional technique, told by the great rishis. Okay, time? Okay. We will close this session. If anybody wants to take any session, we will stop this session and initiate. Afterwards, we will push off. Okay. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Gobrahminebhya Subhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhno Bhavantu Om Sarve Sukhasantu Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhanuktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvana Vadhedamastuma Vidyashavahe Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. 3 times Shanti. This is the last session of this America. Understand? I have been telling so many times for the last 3 months. This is the last session. We are concluding. From tomorrow onwards, we are pushing off to India. So if you want to have any doubt, you ask our Usha madam. She is saying in Houston. She will be giving replies, and we will be reviewing also. We will review whenever you want, but we will fix a date for the people who are already initiated.